Hi, everybody. I'm Denny Schreiner, and welcome to one of my favorite stops on the PBA Tour, the Senior Touring Pro Doubles Championship, because it teams up the pioneers of yesteryear on the PBA Tour and, of course, the current stars on the National Tour. Alongside, once again, Mike Durbin. And, Mike, what's the difference between this competition and the doubles we had 2 weeks ago?
Well, there's a couple differences, Dan. 2 weeks ago, the partners picked one another. In this tournament, after 18 games, you're paired with the leading qualifier from both the touring players and the seniors, and so on down the line. I think the other difference is tradition. In this tournament, it's just rich in tradition because the young players get a chance to bowl with the founding fathers of the PBA, the stars, the Hall of Famers, and it makes for a very exciting evening.
All right, let's take a look at the step ladder at this point in time. We've got Tommy Evans and Marc McDowell slotted in the number 5 position. It could be a big night for Marc McDowell.
Well, the reason it could be a big night for Marc McDowell is he's already won 2 tournaments this year. If he can win this tournament, he might be in the driver's seat for the Bowler of the Year honors. Tommy Evans, on the other hand, has not won any tournament so far. To win 4 games tonight is a difficult task for anyone.
Carmen Salvino and Jeff Bellinger, an interesting twosome that qualify number 4.
Well, you got a Hall of Famer in Carmen Salvino with 17 titles. Jeff Bellinger has won 2 titles. They've obviously mixed very well tonight. They also have to win 4 games, Denny. It'll be a lot of fun watching them.
Mike, Jimmy Certain and Mike Edwards will team up, and it's an interesting pair because Jimmy Certain never won a singles tournament on the PBA Tour, but he won the doubles with Mike Berlin. Mike Edwards still looking for his first title.
You know, Denny, I was just thinking that very same thought, that neither one of these guys has ever won a singles tournament on the PBA, but this is not a singles event. This is a doubles event. Several players in past history have won their first title in doubles event. Maybe it's Certain and Edwards' turn.
The Killer Bees slotted number 2. We're talking of Burton and Benoit. That could be the dark horse team.
Well, they're in that advantageous position. You remember a couple of weeks ago, Parker Bone and his partner were sitting in that number 2 position, Parker Bone and Hugh Miller, and they won 2 games and won the tournament. That's what Burton and Benoit are going to have to do tonight. Burton has been kind of riding Benoit all week long. He's been the horse.
Dick Weber won his first title 8 years before his partner Justin Hromek was born. Interesting combination.
Well, the big story tonight, you know, is if Dick Weber wins tonight, he will have won in 5 different decades, the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and now we're in the 90s. I know it's important to him. I think it's important to the whole bowling world, and everybody is watching with anticipation to see if Weber can pull it off.
All right, we're just about ready to begin match number 1, and we have 2 excellent teams paired up here. It'll be McDowell and Evans against Bellinger and Carmen Salvino. And the championship round pair, lanes 15 and 16, and it appears as if Marc McDowell will start in the left-hand lane.
And that's an interesting thing already, Dan, because that means that Tommy Evans is going to have to anchor it out in the 10th frame, and normally the touring player does that.
Marc McDowell loves to play doubles, and he really enjoys this event. Of course, he and Dick Weber captured this tournament when it was held in Green Bay, and Marc comes out with a strike.
He and Weber also finished second in this tournament, too.
Salvino would like to start quickly. Up the track and high, and he gets a big break with the fact that he goes through the nose and does not leave a split.
Carmen's been struggling with his timing, Dan, and made a change right before he went on the air. And holding the ball out and having a little delay timing.
Uh-oh, over the thumb hole, and Carmen comes out with an open frame, and he's not happy about it.
He told me that he just was struggling all week long. Watch this. Just hangs on the ball. Comes up at the line, never gets his thumb out of the ball, and that's why it hit the thumb hole. That's embarrassing for Carmen, I know.
Jeff Bellinger will try and put this team back on track quickly. And that's exactly what partners are for.
What doubles competition's all about, Dan. You got to hold one another up.
Tommy Evans, who had an outstanding week, was very helpful to Marc McDowell. Trying to double and extend the lead. And a good shot for Tommy Evans, but he leaves a solid 10-pin. Last year at this time, just across the way in St. Charles, Tommy Evans threw 17 consecutive strikes on national television.
Well, Tommy's been struggling this year. He's been trying to hook the ball a little bit more than he had in the past. He said this week he was going to go back to throwing it straight, and we see the results.
Good conversion of the 10-pin.
Five-step player, holds the ball waist high. Now he pushes it out. Pretty free swing. Watch it at the top now. It's a little bit early at this point. See, it's at its peak, and the next to last step is not down. Now it's already started. So it wants to beat him to the line, Dan. He fights loses all the time.
McDowell with the light hit tries to shake out the 7, but it doesn't quite happen. Fiery competitor.
And the difference in his timing is it's slightly later than Evans. He has a little more time to come through, for the thumb to get out of the ball and the fingers to lift it.
Should he win here tonight and add $14,000 to his earnings, he will overtake Eric Forkel and become the Tour's leading money winner.
And he knows that.
A spare for McDowell, and I asked him about the pressure and could this be a big night?
Obviously, it'd be a big win for me. The season's winding down, and I think really I'd like to win it for my partner, Tommy Evans. He out-bowled every senior here by a bunch, and he's a big reason why we're here, and it'd be nice to get him his first title.
Salvino crosses over, and he looks a bit confused at this point.
He is confused. Right now, Carmen is struggling with his timing, struggling with his release, but most of all, his confidence is waning.
Took the 10 off the 6 the last trip, and this won't be easy either.
Easy to chop that 5 off the 9. Has it.
Little animation from the man from the Windy City. He's a little steamed at himself.
He's disappointed in himself, right? Yeah, he's trying to motivate himself to get a little adrenaline flowing, to do something and force the pins over.
If any player can think himself through it, it'll be Carmen Salvino. Bellinger looking for a messenger that never arrives at the 10 pin. Strong, powerful player who bowled collegiately at the University of South Carolina.
Jeff has always had that powerful forearm, be able to get the ball well out of the lane. In some centers, it helps him. Other centers, it gives him kind of an erratic reaction.
Hard and straight, and a spare for Bellinger, and I asked him about bowling this week with Carmen Salvino.
It was quite the experience to bowl with Carmen. I bowled Carmen on my first TV show in Kansas City, and now I get the chance to bowl with him in the doubles, and he's quite an animated player, and he kept me pretty loose the entire week, and he's consistent, and he's everything you could ask for in a senior player.
Marc McDowell would probably echo those sentiments concerning Tommy Evans. He was really happy with the opportunity to bowl with Tommy this week.
And Tommy just headed right for the heart of the pins from the instant he let it go. The swing was a little away from his body, and it just was on that trajectory right on through.
By and large, the touring players averaged almost 15 pins higher a game than their senior counterparts this week.
Well, they were able to play deeper, Denny, and where there was oil and swing it out and get it back. When the seniors moved in there, the ball didn't want to hit too hard.
Nearly a 6 off the 10, but Tommy gets the job done, slaps Marc McDowell and says, all right, time to go back to work.
Tommy's happy because really he made 2 errant shots and came away with a spare. Almost chops the 6 off the 10. The ball barely hits the 10. Perfect shot.
Good projection that time for Marc McDowell, who utilizes loft, maybe as good as anybody on the PBA National Tour.
Let's see what Carmen utilizes right here. A
little more lift.
See the elbow break then? See, he's just fighting his release all the way through. He wanted to trust that, but at the last minute, he said, no, not too far. The traditional thing. Watch him. He's coming right at us. Now watch the arm come through and watch the elbow. His hand will go in front of his body. See the elbow break? That's called the old chicken wing shot.
Hold on, ball.
He's happy with a spare, believe me.
Just trying to survive right now is Carmen Salvino, and he's done that for so many years on the national tour. All he wants to do is get one strike for his partner. Good news is they're still in the match.
13 pins can change in a minute.
Come on, Ben. Here. Come on.
Beautiful shot for Jeff Bellinger. A strike up in the 6th for the team of Salvino and Bellinger, but they trail at this point to Tommy Evans and Marc McDowell. We'll be back with more from O'Fallon, Illinois, right after these messages.
Hey, want to meet the team?
Just head over to McDonald's for these exciting USA Olympic Basketball Collector Cups.
Some are more exciting than others. Some better looking.
Get one free.
Free.
When you buy any large soft drink.
Large, like me.
All of them have exciting action graphics and player stats.
Not bad.
For a limited time, team one up
With large fries.
and a big beefy triple cheeseburger, and you've got yourself the gold medal meal.
What you want is what you get.
At McDonald's today.
Gold medal? I'll take 2.
Something to drink, sir?
Yeah, make it a Bud Light.
Sorry, we just ran out.
Oh. Excuse me. Bud Light?
Try Flight 261 out of L.A.
Oh, thank you.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Do you have a Bud Light?
Welcome aboard, sir.
Great. Where are we going?
The championship round finals of the Touring Pro Senior Doubles Championship is being brought to you by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. And by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. Tommy Evans in the 6th, and he's got a strike up.
Up by 13, can bump it up to 23 with a strike.
Left all the way, Michael.
Last 2 shots.
Looks like he's afraid to trust it.
Well, he knows if he throws it a little bit away, it's not going to hook back up. We see right here, 17 to almost 18 miles per hour, 1 board belly. That's a pretty tight line, Dan, right all the way. When you think that ball's on 13 when he lets it go, in the pocket's 17. It's a close match right now.
First open frame for the team of McDowell and Evans. And now Marc McDowell will try and get his team back on track. Inside angle. And the carrier's there once again.
You see the smile on his face. He wasn't sure whether that was going to get the 5 or not. Watch it. The ball is going to deflect in. It's just going to get the 5. Just barely.
McDowell with 3 strikes out of 4 frames.
And the smile. Carmen's got to do something right now.
Oh, my. The 5 and the 7 were standing. And then the 360 from the spook Carmen Salvino.
Watch this ball deflect. The head pin goes to the wall. The 5-7's up there. Now, somehow, the 1 pin knocks over the 7. The head pin comes back off the wall, and they both fall in unison. And Carmen says, hike those hips. Bellinger says, all right. They're in the lead.
Jeff said he saw the entire act this week from Carmen Salvino and enjoyed it. For 3 in a row. Oh, a solid 10-pin. Jeff Bellinger can't believe it stood up.
He really threw it well. Jeff stays behind that ball so well. He has the short backswing and that powerful forearm. I've always, thought he had such a nice, simple game with a very alive ball and wondered why he didn't win more tournaments. Watch how he straightens it out now at the spare. At the 10 pin, he's going to throw hard and straight. Be no turn at all on this shot.
And, of course, that's your average builder tonight, the difference between the contemporary players when they spare and maybe the senior players.
And we see the backswing below shoulder height. He's behind that ball all the way. See how the trust is right there? No break of the elbow, just up. Unlike Carmen's elbow broke out. Evans has got a strike here. A little more room. Oh, a bucket crumbler. If we see a replay of that, you'll watch the head pin go by and just clip the 2. Watch it, Dan. The head pin, the 1 has to hit the 2 for the ball to be in the pocket. You see it just clip it, and then that bucket's up there and kind of crumbles.
At the last moment, on a double, if McDowell strikes, they lead by 12.
Back and forth.
McDowell inside, ball rolls up a little too high, but now he kind of trips out the 4 pin.
Boy, they got an assortment going there. The bucket crumbler and the trip 4. Carmen now needs to just get his act together. As we see the replay and the 2 pin go to the wall and get both the 4 and the 7, Carmen has to get his act together for one quality shot.
Players jumping all over the approach. Salvino needs another light hit, and this time the head pin doesn't quite finish off the rest of the stack.
And you see the difference between the younger player and the more mature player. The seniors can't get that ball back when they get it into the oil. Jenny's telling that lady he's just not, the timing's not there. He's not getting his hand out of the ball right.
Oh, that lovely lady has watched a lot of strikes in her day. Carmen makes the spare. Now it's up to his touring partner, Jeff Bellinger, to fill out in the 10th frame. They could still shoot 201.
And they're very much alive in this match if he can do just that, Denny. Again, one at a time.
Tommy Evans will have to finish in the 10th.
Right. And he's been anything but solid on that right lane.
One at a time is what Jeff Bellinger is saying, and that was El Perfecto.
Couldn't throw it any better than that, then.
All you have to look back to is that 10 pin that he left in the 8th frame.
He's looking over at the score. Carmen encouraging him, saying that's all right.
Down on one knee, asking for that one. Now this one really changes the scenario.
Well, this puts him at a possible 201. It makes Evans really do something in the 10th frame. More room, more room.
Steered it back in. 6 pin slapped at the 10, but the 10 pin stands, and that could be all she wrote for Salvino and Bellinger. Spare here gives them a game of 191 with an open in the first frame.
Situation, as far as I can see, is he needs 9 pins. 9 pins and he's a winner.
Best shot of the match for Tommy Evans.
And his partner gives him the high five, I'll tell you. Boy, he threw kind of a fadeaway blower there.
That fadeaway blower?
Watch this. If you see it on replay, the ball is fading at the pocket and still gets the 5. I used to throw a few of those.
A key shot by Tommy Evans locks up game number 1.
Practice shot now.
Brooklyn. And we'll break away here as Tommy Evans and Marc McDowell win game number 1. When we come back, Mike's average builder.
Don't be bored by the same old lunch routine. Dine outdoors on Thursdays this summer at the Downtown Elizabethtown Lunch Series. Every Thursday is a treat of taste and tunes with a variety of live entertainment from noon until 1. And lunch will be offered from 11:30 until 1:30 on the square at the corner of Market and East High Streets. Sponsored by Elizabethtown Central Business District Commission. The Downtown Elizabethtown Lunch Series. It's the cool way to enjoy a Thursday summer lunch.
GMC Truck has been planning your getaway for over 80 years and has put all its experience into a new vehicle with the luxury of a leather-trimmed interior, the safety of anti-lock brakes, the comfort of a soft ride suspension package, and most important, all the strength you'd expect from a truck company. The new SLT Jimmy from GMC Truck, more proof of the strength of experience.
See your Susquehanna Valley GMC truck dealers.
Average Builders is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut, home of America's Pan Pizza.
As you know, tonight is the Touring Players Seniors Championship. And there are many different ways that the contemporary player attacks the game differently than the player of yesteryear. Just one of those differences is their approach to spares. Most seniors were like me. We were taught to throw the same basic shot at spares that we threw for strikes. For example, if I threw a moderate hook for the strike, I threw that same moderate hook to try and make the spare. The example I have up here is the 10-pin. I threw a moderate hook to leave that 10-pin. Now I'm going to throw the same shot to try and make it, and the way I do it is move to the extreme left side of the approach. The third arrow is my target. I'm going to try and throw it out toward the channel and have it hook back to make the 10-pin. Let's see if we can do it. As you can see, that's not easy to do. Well, what's the difference with the contemporary player? Well, I think Mark Roth started it all off. The contemporary player throws basically straighter at the spares. Many of them will use a harder surface bowling ball to go straighter. Almost all of them will get right behind the ball with no lift, stay right behind it, and every one of them will use more speed, and it looks like this. Or at least hopefully like this. Again, we're to that same left side of the approach, but now I'm not aiming at the third arrow. I'm aiming closer to the fourth arrow. My hand goes in the ball. Normally, I tuck my little finger. I'm not tucking it. I'm not going to try and turn it, and I'm going to try and throw it harder. There you have it, hard and straight. Which is the best method? Well, I really think that the contemporary method is the superior method. And as evidence of that, you'll see many of the seniors on tonight's telecast using that method to shoot spares. We'll see you again next week from Green Bay, Wisconsin, where we'll have another average builder. And if you have trouble with those spares in the meantime, see your local PBA Pro.
And there were 18 teams that qualified this week. Robert Lord's John Handegard just missed. They were 6th.
And Brad Kazuski and Akron's Billy Gum were in 7th place.
Danny Wiseman, Larry Gilder were 8th this week.
And Don Johnson and Mark Bradley, both the Akron connection.
Bob Learn, Dave Sutar finished up number 10.
And the great Gene Stuss, $100,000 man, along with Tom Kreitz.
And number 12, Rick Steele Smith and Shell Wilson.
And the old horseshoe pitcher, Walter Ray Williams and Darrell Curtis.
14th this week, George Branham III and Glenn Carlson.
And Billy Oakes and Jim Lewis in 15th place.
Randy Lightfoot and Frankie May were 16th.
And 17th were Mickey Spezio and
Tony Westlake. Bill
okay.
Bauer Jr. and Paul Keppel were 18th. We're moving right through this. Bob Chase and John Tragert ended up as the alternate. When we come back, Mike Edwards, Jimmy Certain will look to try and stop Marc McDowell and Tommy Evans in the Senior Touring Pro Championship.
14 cavities. I didn't think I had that many teeth. You're going to have to drill. My parents will be very upset.
Parents today hope their kids won't have to go through what they went through. Luckily, today's kids use the toothpaste no dentists recommend. Crest. Crest fluoride formula strengthens tooth enamel, helping to protect against cavities.
Another great checkup. Yes. Woo, woo, woo. Later, dude.
Crest, the dentist choice, is the easy choice.
It's been fun.
You're about to see the power of subliminal advertising.
Now, you name bowling's hookingest and bashingest new ball, it's the new Rhino Pro.
100% urethane in a conventional two-piece design. Only at your local pro shop.
Have you seen who's been on Speed Week? Speed Week starts off the Thunder every Saturday night. Catch us this week at 7:30 Eastern for the latest in motorsports. You've got the need for Speed Week. The 50-yard. Indoor war. The rock and roll fury of arena football. The playoffs begin Saturday night on ESPN. A fresh tandem brought on here to match up with Marc McDowell and Tommy Evans. Marc told me if we get by our first game, I think we got a real good chance to win.
Well, the strategy of Edwards and Certain is to make Evans finish on that right lane again. I'm certain that Certain will start on lane 16 and Edwards will anchor on 15.
McDowell comes out, likes to start in a hurry, and he does with a wall shot. So Marc McDowell is throwing a lot of strikes on lane 15.
Well, you keep hitting that one lane, whether you're bowling by yourself or with a doubles team. You know, it only takes one other strike and double, and then maybe a turkey.
Here's the senior that can rev it up and get it back.
Well, a little bit more. Actually, I don't think it's because of so many revs. He throws the ball slower and gives the ball a chance to work in the oil. Or at least he can vary his speeds.
Now, come on. He's in there with the touring players.
Yeah, he's in there. Not quite as many revolutions, but he's in there.
Same result.
Same result. Well, the lanes are forcing the guys in there, Dan. The lanes are starting to break down in the head area, and they're following oil. Oil is left.
This one will track up big time. Watch this shot. There's obviously a little hold area on lane 15.
Ooh, a little late action on that 10-pin. I was looking for the messenger to knock it over, and something else got it.
Mike Edwards disposing of the rack on lane 15. Now let's see if Tommy Evans can make it 4 shots and 4 strikes.
Still struggling on the right lane. He's trying to play it tight, but he knows if he gives it a board room to the right, it isn't going to make it back. So he takes almost a perfect shot with the right trajectory of his arm swing coming through. He bumps that swing out a little bit in the back, and it's just headed high every time.
All right, let me ask you one quick question. If you're throwing it as straight as Tommy is throwing it right now, why wouldn't you just move your feet to the right and throw that shot up and at it a little bit? I mean, if he swings it 2 boards, it's gone. If he sets it short, it's through the nose.
Well, the reason is whether in reality or just in his mind, if he moves 2 boards to the right and tries to go right at it, he thinks it's going to hook early. Maybe it really will. I don't know.
Sure. Probably will, obviously.
You know, but when you think it is, you don't make the same quality shot.
McDowell with a handful. Same result for Marc McDowell, who continues to X for his senior partner.
See, the advantage that I see here is definitely with Certain and Edwards, because Certain can move into that oil and circle a little bit and get it back. So he's got definitely a much better shot on lane 16 than Tommy Evans does.
A little extra time for Jimmy C., who captured his first and only PBA title back in 1978, Leilani Lanes, when he bowled the doubles with Mike Burley.
Same format on the television show.
Ooh.
Brittany looking on.
She seems rather composed.
Jimmy said that she told him that he should wear a shirt tonight that wouldn't show his perspiration.
So he obviously has followed orders.
Yeah, he says, my own daughter. Jimmy hard and straight at the spare. She knows she's on TV.
Beautiful young lady. She said, all right, Dad, that's a spare, but the next time I want you to get a strike. Edwards uncorks one. Once again, a light hit that pretty much decimates the 10 pins.
His wife, Meg, looks on, says, that's the way, honey.
So the ladies are watching and hoping. See if there's any adjustment made by Tommy Evans.
He's not going to move right. If there's any adjustment, he's going to fudge left.
Got that one out.
Made a much better shot. See that ball hook early and then just kind of set up at the pocket. He got it out to where the lane is somewhat dry, and it just held pocket.
Did he just trust that shot, or
I
what?
think, yeah, it was just a much better executed shot. He trusted it all the way.
Might be cutting the other ones off a little bit, right?
For the turkey. Oh!
Fans react to that bad break, as does Marc McDowell. Obviously the finest shot of the night for him, and he ends up with a solid 8.
And you watch it on replay, and it won't be slow enough. Watch the head pin. Hits the 2. Looks like the butt of the head pin hits the 5 before the ball gets there, so the ball chops the 5. That's the way I've always thought that solid 8s happen. And again, hard and straight at the spare.
McDowell says bad break. We'll shake it off.
And an even match right now. Certain can put him up by 10 pins.
As gritty a competitor as there is on the senior tour.
He's a street fighter all the way. David Room. Ooh, got it back to get that 5 out.
He's been watching his partner. If that young whippersnapper can do it, so can I. Edwards now, if he strikes, would give his team a 20-pin lead.
But if Evans is figured out, lane 16 here, you know, McDowell and Evans are not out of this game. Pretty shot there. Boy, that left lane looks pretty good for the Touring players.
Jimmy Certain, Mike Edwards leading by 20. Jimmy stretches out here and likes his team's chances in game number 2.
If potato chips are going to cross your lips, keep them fresh, make them fine all the time. That's Pringles, not the Pringles. Not like chips in a bag, they don't stay fresh. It's a brag. Candles bagged with buster pieces. Get your hands full of greases. We've got whole crunchy chips, clean and crispy to your lips. Pringles, not the Pringles. Go for fresh because Pringles got them. Fresh, pop right to the bottom. Once you pop, you can't stop.
When a muffler goes, some people look for a cheap replacement. They think it costs less. Fact is, they can get a quality Midas muffler starting at $24.95. Fact is, a guaranteed economizer muffler starting at $24.95. Fact is, installed by experts starting at $24.95. So when somebody says they have a cheaper muffler than Midas, they're right. When they say they're better, fact is, they're wrong. Don't believe anybody ever beats Midas.
Tommy Evans in the 6th frame, his team trailing by 20.
And right now, he needs to get something going because they need some X's to put pressure back on Certain and Edwards.
Good shot. Beautiful shot.
Straight right at him.
That's tough coming out of the commercial break, too.
Watch this. Let's see where it hits, Dan. Right between that 2nd and 3rd, 3rd arrow, about the 12th board. Just rolled up there. Looked easy there.
2 shots. Beautiful shot. 2 shots. 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 2 shots He's accelerating through the shot, though, too. You can see he's getting it on the line much better than he did the first game.
A little more confidence.
Now his partner wants a double. And he got the bad break last time with the 8-pin and got a huge break on that shot.
Boy, the 2-pin just clipped the 4 as it went by, and the ball almost left the solid 9. It just barely fell. He had the 4.79 up there for a heartbeat.
Certain and Edwards still lead by 10. But that was a key double. Too much room. This time it was, as it's the soft 7. And I had a chance to talk to Jimmy earlier today and asked him about helping Mike Edwards win his first title.
Yes, I do. He's had a chance to win a bunch of titles and had a few bad breaks. And I had some bad breaks when I was coming up, and Mike Berlin helped me win my first doubles title, or singles title, as it per se. And I think Mike and I are a good combo. We like each other, and we pat each other on the back, and we got a good chance to win tonight.
Well, we've seen that happen before. You know, Rick Steelsmith last year won his first title in this. Gil Sliker won his first title in the doubles tournament. Rowdy Morrill won his first title in this event.
What about Steve Wunderlich?
Steve Wunderlich won this too. So we've got a great match going back and forth. These guys everybody's zeroed into the pocket right now, and it's just a matter of who's going to carry and who's going to make the pressure shots in the 9th and 10th frames. 9 pins the difference right now. Certain and Edwards have the 9 pins, but Evans and McDowell can take the lead with a strike here.
So they could shoot 259. Certain and Edwards could shoot 258. Another good shot. Ooh. Down on one knee, and Tommy Evans says, I'm here to stay. Come on, Pards. How about a strike on the left-hand lane?
Well, you said that Marc McDowell said if we can get by the first game, look out. You know, Evans, the confidence is growing every shot. McDowell's been solid all the way. Holds pocket, solid. Big shot here.
Marc McDowell trying to become the first 3-time winner on the PBA National Tour this season.
Can't throw it any better, Dan. Playing inside line. The ball finishing at the back. Ooh. Is that a hop, step, and a jump there? Jimmy has to strike here to set his partner up for the 10th frame. He's got to have this one.
Normally responds well to pressure. Up through the nose, though, and this one maybe hooked a little more than he had hoped.
Didn't come off his thumb and was slow with the speed all the way through. He got it in where he wanted, but it just wasn't the release that he wanted.
4-7-10, not pretty to look at in the 9th frame, or any frame for that matter.
If he doesn't make it, he's just handed the match to McDowell and Evans.
You see the disappointment and disgust all over Jimmy's face. I tell you, he's the type of player that thrives on having to strike to win.
Watch it here. Doesn't get the thumb out of the ball clean. See, that kind of drags there. Well, see the loft on the ball? He hasn't been getting that far out. And it just wasn't the release that he wanted.
226 if Mike Edwards strikes out.
Boy, what a shot. I'll tell you what, if McDowell and Edwards just bowl one another on that left leg, it'd be nothing but X's almost.
They'd already have an Andy Verapapa 300.
What more can Edwards do? He's had 5 opportunities to strike and struck 5 times. But he's got to strike here to give his team any chance at all to win.
A player who has 5 second-place finishes in his career. Truly one of the very talented players on the National Tour. Just has not been able to break into the winner's circle. And this time perhaps a little too much juice. Overhooked it. And so with a spare, it'll be a game of 216.
And that basically does it. McDowell and Evans, even if they open in the 10th frame, we're going to be in the 220s. So, you know, it's a 23-pin deficit right now. Evans just has to stay up, get up, stay behind the foul line, and keep it on the lane.
Mike Edwards made 4 consecutive championship round appearances a year ago.
He was really on a tear there, but couldn't win.
When he does, he's liable to win a bunch, but until that happens, he's going to live with the fact that he just hasn't been able to get to the Firestone. Now, that's the kind of shot that you like to have to win a match, right, Mike?
Everybody likes those kind. I'll tell you what, he's looking better and better and better on that right lane now.
Marc McDowell's up there to let him know that, too, trying to pump up his partner.
You know, this team was leading the tournament most of the way, and they dropped down the last couple, 3 games last night. So they've had a way all week long, just had a little tough spell the last 2 or 3 games.
Well, he's done nothing now but hit the pocket shot after shot. Jimmy Certain and Mike Edwards finish up 4th. And as we leave, we'll show you the Bowler's Journal All-America team, the ladies' selections this year.
People don't stay at La Quinta Inns just because of the free local calls. Well, it's definitely a topic of conversation. Call 1-800-531-5900. La Quinta Inns, America's hotel value. This is La Quinta Inn's new money-saving super value rates coupon. If you can't find one, just tell them you saw it on TV. Call La Quinta and ask for the new super value rates from $34.50.
McDonald's salutes the fastest man in the world.
Harrison Dillard, 1948, 100-meter dash.
The most graceful diver.
Patty McCormick, 1952 and 56, springboard and platform.
The finest gymnast.
Peter Vidmar, 1984, team and pommel horse.
McDonald's salutes the determination.
Al Order, 1956, 60, 64.
And 68.
Discus.
The fierce competitiveness.
Nancy Hogshead, Carrie Steincypher, 1984 freestyle. Tide.
The daring.
Bob Richards, 1952 and 56, pole vault.
McDonald's salutes Sheila Young, Pablo Morales, Willie Davenport, and all the men and women who over the years have honored this country in the Olympics and showed us that dreams can come true, just like they did for former Congressman Bob Mathias.
1948 and 52, decathlon.
Budweiser 4-Man Volleyball Tour. Wednesdays on ESPN. Don't miss it.
Drivers, start your engines and get ready for takeoff on an airport runway that doubles as a dangerous road course. The Budweiser Cleveland Grand Prix, Sunday afternoon at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN.
Big game for Marc McDowell and Tommy Evans, who used a 4-bagger, or make that a 5-bagger, I should say, from the 6th all the way through the 10th to defeat Edwards and Certain 248 to 216. And Mike Durbin right now ready to pose double duty as he's going to chat with our top seeds this week, Justin Hromek and Dick Weber.
Thank you, Denny. And guys, you've been bowling really great all week. Congratulations so far on leading the tournament.
Well, Mike, I got a great big saddle and I got a good horse. So Justin's been bowling well, but I've been getting my strokes in here and there. Justin's been doing it, the whole team, really.
Well, my first question is for you, Dick. You're 62 years of age. What the seniors would say now is a super senior, yet here you are, the top seed in a PBA national event. What are your feelings about that?
Well, it's a great feeling anytime you're in the top seed, and I owe it all to this young man right here. He helped me, and he always said a nice shot. Even when I threw a bad shot, he said nice shot. So it relaxed me a little bit.
He's polite to his elders, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Justin, you had a choice, a flip of the coin. You tied with somebody. You chose to bowl with Dick Weber. What's it like to bowl the finals at 25 years of age with a legend?
It was a once-in-a-lifetime thing for me, so to me, it wasn't really a decision. I wanted to bowl with Dick from the start, and when I got the choice to pick, it wasn't even a decision. It was just made right then. And don't let him fool you. He made a lot of good shots this week.
Okay. All right. You were an outstanding collegiate player when you came out of college. There were a lot of high expectations, everybody looking at you and things. How's Justin Hromek's opinion of his career progressing so far?
Oh, I've developed the consistency that I would like. I'm cashing regularly, but this is my first telecast in 2.5 years on the tour, so I'm glad to be here, and I've got some experience to ride this time, so it's kind of nice having it out here with me.
One last question. We got to talk about this, Dick. If you win tonight, it's 5 decades. You will won in 5 different decades. Your name is sprinkled throughout the record book all around here and there, but to win in 5 decades is really something special. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, naturally, I want to win in 5 decades. But the other thing, too, is this be this man's first appearance in the Firestone Tournament Champions. So that's another goal that both of us have. So being able to win in 5 decades is an honor.
Okay, you got 5 decades as a tournament champion. Who's going to throw the pressure strike?
Justin is.
All right, Justin. Well, we'll see if Justin can handle it. We'll also see if the Killer Bees can knock off the team of Evans and McDowell. We'll be right back.
Free bowling ball. Clearview Lanes wants you to have a free ball this fall. Sign up for a 92-93 fall league, and Clearview Lanes will give you a new ball free. And all current league bowlers who bring a new bowler for a fall league will receive a $20 gift certificate. New bowlers must not have bowled at Clearview in the past year. For more information, contact Clearview Lanes, 1990 West Main Street, Mount Joy, at 653-1818. 653-1818. Clearview Lanes, we're giving away free balls for fall.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Let's see. A mountain man must be fearless, sure-footed, willing to answer the call of the wild. But most of all, a mountain man should be thirsty for a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and see if you have what it takes to be a real mountain man.
Historic Watkins Glen, a demanding road course that produces the most exciting finishes. Now it's new and improved and tougher than ever. The Budweiser at the Glen, Sunday afternoon live on ESPN.
3 teams left in this championship. Marc McDowell, who has had the hot hand on lane 15, will start the semifinal game.
Same strategy. They're not changing anything, or everybody's making Evans finish on that right lane. So far, he's responding.
And the first time that we've seen him miss badly, but he gets a break, leaving just the 6-10.
And it possibly could be in between games. Your hand swells a little bit, just not getting out of it clean. He's kind of shaking his hand. That was in the release. He just didn't have the release he wanted.
Hasn't had the chance to shoot too many spares tonight.
Hard and straight at the spare.
Almost a backup ball.
Yeah. Can't chop it that way, Dan. Don't need that power to knock over the spare. You just need for the ball to hit it. Speaking of power.
But also wrapped up with a bit of finesse, too. He doesn't overpower the lanes, Bob Benoit, but he does get the ball to roll heavy. Kind of a funny hit as he leaves the 8-pin.
Interesting style. Little stutter step here. Now it's 5 steps. Now watch the wrist position. Took him a year and a half to learn that. Watch the slides right in time, right here. Perfect timing. Nice slide. Just around and through the ball. Perfect balance there. That's how he used to throw the ball on his first ball, right there. He used to go almost that straight. He didn't make any money out here. Went home, worked on his game, developed that other style. Now he's won a lot of money.
PBA Hall of Famer Nelson Burton Jr. with his first shot on lane 15.
He's also won a lot of money.
And he also goes pretty straight. High into the pocket, leaves the 4-pin.
Interesting that both teams have chosen to have the senior member anchored out in the 10th frame.
Of course, they'll anchor on different lanes in this game, which is something we haven't seen thus far. It was funny because when you mentioned that, I talked to Bob Benoit. I said, well, will Nelson Burton anchor? He said, well, we haven't decided yet. But he said, hey, this guy's won 17 titles. If he wants to anchor, he knows how to get it done.
Hey, that's pretty good thinking.
Yeah.
Huh? Looks good.
Beautiful shot for Tommy Evans after a slow and inconsistent start. He's kind of locked into lane 16.
Well, he was the leading senior all week long as far as knocking the most pins down by far.
Looking to extend the lead to 11 pins if he strikes on the left-hand lane is Marc McDowell, current PBA president.
Oh, it hit it, but it didn't knock it over. The old equalizer there, or whatever. The pocket 7-10. Let's watch it, Dan. See if the head pin goes in front of the 7 and the 5 pin behind. 5 pin just short. The head pin went in front. The 5 pin got in the way of the head pin coming off the wall.
Earlier this year, out in Fresno, Marc was the tournament leader, opened the title game with a pocket 7-10, and Dave D'Entremont went on after throwing the first 6 to defeat him. Or he would already have 3 titles.
Same hip. 10 of them went down.
Now Nelson Burton will try for the first double of the match. The Burton clan looks on, and I think prayers are being offered up, so Dad might end up with a double. And the prayers are answered. And I had a chance to talk to Nelson. I asked him the difference between bowling singles and doubles.
Well, doubles is different, but I've had great success in the doubles. I've won the regular PBA doubles. I've won the doubles in ABC competition. I won the regional doubles with my brother, and I won a couple other tournaments with Harry Smith. And really what I try to do is keep my partner encouraged, make him feel like I'm doing well all the time, and make him feel very confident in me, and I think that brings out the best in your partner.
And when you throw doubles, that helps the cause.
Well, when you have confidence in your partner and he has confidence in you, it's a growing thing. It feeds off one another, and you just seem to get better and better.
Pretty good shot by Tommy Evans, but he ends up with the 4-pin. It's a 21-pin lead now for Benoit and Burton. What, if any, change for Marc McDowell, Mike, after that bad break on the left-hand lane?
No change. I mean, you just come back and throw it in the pocket, and same hit, get 10 pins this time.
Marc McDowell has been superb on the left-hand lane tonight.
A little bit tight, a little bit high. So he's been high, light, and now a little high again. That motion there, it's like he's trying to find the stroke. It's not just coming off exactly the way that he wants to. You know, pro bowlers are always fighting their release, and it's never quite as good as you want it to be.
Was it harder to get that kind of a release, say, in the championship round? Does pressure add to making it more difficult to get out of the ball?
I wouldn't think so at this particular point in time, because the nerves are gone. They've won 2 matches. They got confidence. It's just an adjustment that he's got to make in the middle of this game.
Benoit could open this way up if he strikes here. His team leads by 23. Beautiful shot for Bob Benoit.
And he's using a ball that he hadn't used earlier in the week. He's changed what they call the pin position, so it comes down a little bit and finishes a little bit harder at the back end. And we look at this. Very slow speed, 16.3. Belly's at 7 boards. Look at it. It goes all the way from 19 out to 8.5 down at 45 feet and then back to board 17 at the pocket.
Burton to keep the streak alive. Another frozen rope, and he ends up with a 4-pin.
What a difference in styles. These two guys definitely can't line up one another, that's for sure.
That's what Nelly said when he came into the building tonight, and I said, hey, but opposites attract.
Look at this. That's a half a board Belly. 13 to 13.5, and then it's at 15 at 45 feet, where Benoit's is at 8. And again, the pocket's 17, Dan.
A lot of different ways to get there. All right, it's fair up. Nelson Burton and Benoit are ahead. Let's take a look now at the BJ All-American team, the men's side.
Is this seat taken?
No, please.
So that's what you're eating? Too bad.
This is a whole grain cereal.
Yes, with sugar and preservatives.
Oh, and I suppose that your
Kellogg's Nutri-Grain, it's made with pure whole grain.
Oh, really?
It's the only whole grain cereal without sugar or preservatives added.
The only one? I didn't know.
I know.
So what else should I know?
You have milk on your chin?
Kellogg's Nutri-Grain, as good as whole grain gets.
Just because you go all out, doesn't mean you gotta stink. Not if you're wearing this. And here comes your chance to prove it. And you will, because Old Spice works. Man, does it work. Fights wetness, kills bacteria. The proof?
Hey, hotshot.
You're looking at her.
Old Spice antiperspirant for great odor protection. You demand proof, not promises.
A must-strike situation for Tommy Evans?
I think so, Dan. 32 pins behind. This is the 6th frame. They got to get going. Game gets over in a hurry.
Especially when you only get 5 shots.
Oh, what a break that was. The 4-9 on a nicely stroked bowling ball. Just doesn't look like it's their game. They've had 2 good games, and sometimes that momentum runs out. Watch it here, a little bit tight. The ball drives through on those phenolic pin decks. 2-pin misses the 4, and the ball chops the 5 right off the 9.
Well, Tommy's a very accurate player. Let's see if he can slide the 4 over.
Almost, not enough. You're aiming at about 1/8 of an inch at 60 feet.
A 4-9 in the 6th. The door opens up now for Benoit and Burton. All they have to do is pretty much finish out the game, and they'll be bowling for the title. Well, you could tell the McDowell went for it all on that shot, and he paid the price as he waves goodbye to the national television audience and those in attendance here in O'Fallon, Illinois.
It's amazing how it could turn around so quickly. They were cruising along. They looked so good the last game, and now they're playing tic-tac-toe with the Donuts definitely winning.
All right, don't forget, as soon as we are done here in O'Fallon, we'll be sending you out to Denton Field in Miles City, Montana. A couple of outstanding lightweights in Todd Foster and Jeff Mayweather. That's Top-Rank Boxing coming up as soon as we are done here. That is a long way out there in Montana. Ever been out there, Mike?
My wife's father lives out in Montana.
No kidding.
In Missoula.
Wonder if he's going to the fight.
No, he's a fisherman.
Well, this is a freebie for Nelson Burton Jr. His team leads by 56. Oh, it looked like Nelson swung that ball a couple of boards.
He lost it, Dan. He took the ball off the rack in between frames. He fiddled with the thumb hole, and it looked like he took a piece of tape out, and then he dropped it. Bo is always bowled with an extremely tight thumb hole. And Right now, he's struggling a little bit with his release, although the old adage, if you leave this thing, you know, you just throw the same shot to make it.
I'll bet he makes it.
I wouldn't bet against him.
Oh, by a whisker. An open frame, but they can afford one at this stage in the match.
Well, you know, you can still do it with a pencil. They can still go out for 192. So, you know, they've got both feet in the grave, but they're not dead yet.
Tommy Evans trying to help the cause, and you can see a little tug on that shot, trying to help it to the pocket.
One strike the whole game. Marc McDowell, who couldn't miss on that left lane, has not had a strike the entire game.
It ends so quickly, you know, Mike. You're out there, you're just gliding along. You're thinking, all right, we'll get rid of Burton and Benoit. We'll have Weber and Justin Hromek, and we'll win this thing. And whoo, 111 in the 8th. That's a long way from 248.
Oh, boy. This game will humble you dead so fast.
Ah, there's a strike. And Marc says, I'm done. I'll see you later. Of course, he'll pick up that third place money, and he's chasing Eric Forkel right now.
And, of course, at the end of the year, when everybody computes things, the players look at things. How many championship rounds, you know, what's the average, how many match play finals. They don't just look at the total money or the total number of wins.
Pins you hear falling in the background. Those being knocked down by Dick Weber and Justin Hromek. They are the top seeds. Bob Benoit saying, bring them on. We're ready for them. A little better release that time for Nelson Burton, who strikes. This one is all over the semifinal. And when we come back, we'll look at our Midas Championship ring.
All-Pro quarterback Dan Marino.
When the game is over and the pain starts, I want two things from my pain-relieving rub: fast relief and no odor. So I use Sports Cream, a strong pain-relieving rub that doesn't make me smell like a medicine chest. I just massage in Sports Cream for fast, odor-free relief. Cream or lotion, Sports Cream sure gets my vote for fast relief and no odor.
Here's an automotive tip from Walmart. Cars and budgets last longer when you pay attention to three things: how you drive, what you put into the engine, and where you go to buy it. That's why you should choose Quaker State. It's one tough motor oil, and every time you get it at Walmart. For Walmart savings every day of the year. If you care about your car, you'll change your oil with Quaker State. If you care about your money, you'll change to Walmart. Always the low price, always.
Is this seat taken?
No, please.
So that's what you're eating? Too bad.
This is a whole grain cereal.
Yes, with sugar and preservatives.
Oh, and I suppose that you're
Kellogg's Nutri-Grain. It's made with pure whole grain.
Oh, really?
It's the only whole grain cereal without sugar or preservatives added.
The only one? I didn't know.
I know.
So what else should I know?
You have milk on your chin?
Kellogg's Nutri-Grain, as good as whole grain gets.
We'll start again. Tommy Evans with a key shot here in the 10th frame.
And he responds by throwing a light and getting that fall away blower that we were talking about.
That's a Roy Buckley special there. Good shot. Look at Tommy down on one knee, back up. 225 to 191. They closed with 6 consecutive strikes. Then it was on to match number 2, where they took on Jimmy Certain and Mike Edwards, and it was Jimmy this time with an unfortunate break.
And this happened in the 9th frame, when if he'd have struck, he'd have put his team within 1 pin. He tried valiantly to convert the 4-7-10, couldn't make it. Said to me, well, it was light. I had to slow up to get it in there, and it went too high.
So he took a chance, and it didn't work out. And McDowell and Evans breezed to victory, 248 to 216. But the breeze quit blowing in the semifinal game, and disaster set in. This, though, is a shot in the 5th by Bob Benoit.
Early in the match, you know, the match was never really a contest. Benoit very wired on the right lane. Burton a little bit shaky on the left. This gave him a turkey and a 34-pin lead, and they never looked back.
Bob Benoit with a beautiful shot, and he and Nelson Burton Jr. went on to win easily in the semifinal game as Burton struck out. 224 to 150 was the final tally there. When we come back, a couple of guys that have been feuding with bowling balls for a lot of years in the St. Louis area, Dick Weber and Nelson Burton Jr.
When a muffler goes, some people look for a cheap replacement. They think it costs less. Fact is, they can get a quality Midas muffler starting at $24.95. Fact is, a guaranteed economizer muffler starting at $24.95. Fact is, installed by experts starting at $24.95. So when somebody says they have a cheaper muffler than Midas, they're right. When they say they're better, fact is, they're wrong. Don't believe anybody ever beats Midas.
If you're hungry for the gold, you practice, practice, practice. If you're just hungry, you go to McDonald's.
Where, for a limited time, you can get a big, beefy triple cheeseburger.
For a big guy, like myself.
Big guy, Mikey. And when you team one up
with large fries and a large soft drink
in a free USA Olympic Basketball Collector Cup, you've got yourself the gold medal meal.
What you want is what you get.
At McDonald's today.
Gold medal? It's in the bag.
This is the end of how you think about dandruff shampoo, of Head & Shoulders as you now know it. Now it's better. Because new Head & Shoulders gets to 10 times more of the places dandruff starts to help prevent flakes. Hey, would you try this with your ordinary shampoo? I think not. No other shampoo has this formula. New Head & Shoulders. This could be the end of flakes. Period.
Down to the final 2 tandems here this evening. Nelson Burton Jr., Bob Benoit take on Justin Hromek and the legend, Dick Weber.
And the way the strategy is going to work now is the touring player will finish the 10th frame on both teams.
Burton finished with 3 strikes in the semifinal. Let's see if he picks up right where he left off. And he does.
See, no lose there. He got that. Found the secret with the release, with a right piece of tape or a half a piece of tape or whatever he's doing, but right now he's got the release down.
Weber comes out playing in the track area and didn't look like that ball got off his hand very good.
A little bit quick with the feet, which has always been Dick's problem. He's always working to slow down. The only good thing about this is that he kind of just dumps it out here. Again, the only good thing he doesn't lose any count. He just needs to make the spare.
That 2 pin separated from the head pin.
He's saying now that the 2 pin is not on spot. We can hear he is
2 pins
Mike.
separated from the head pin.
So Johnny, go over and take a look at it. We have
See, if I hit
wire.
that on the left, I'm gonna miss the 8 pin.
He has the privilege in the right, as we can see that the 2 pin looks like it's not on the spot. To make, well, evidently it was the head pin that was off spot. The pins need to be on spot. That's all he wants.
It's all a good pro can ask for. Eyesight's still intact. Ooh. Weber fights his way through. That's
there, Jason.
The ball just barely hits the 2 and hangs on to get the 8. Weber, who is wearing a mic, as is Burton. Be interesting if there's any comments along through the game.
I know one thing. You'll hear Weber cheering this youngster on because Justin Hromek did just that throughout most of the week. Oh, lots of strength.
Well, in the interview, Dick said he had a good horse and he was riding him.
Had the spurs out and everything. Tough break for Benoit, who has pretty much just quietly gone about his business here this evening.
As he always does. He's a very professional competitor. Won a lot of money, won 3 tournaments out here. Of course, he bowled the famous 300 against Marc Roth in the Quaker State a few years back. Won $127,000 that day. Watch how straight he throws it at the 10 pin.
Benoit, an outstanding doubles player. Of course, he and Dell won the normal doubles last year. They've made the telecast 4 out of 5 years, and obviously he's a good partner to have.
He likes the format. He likes the idea of bowling with somebody else.
Burton back up the track. This time can't quite get the 10 pin to fall.
Right in the pocket, though, Dan. I mean, quality shot there. I think that the question in this match is going to be whether Weber can get any strikes on the right lane. Cross lane at the 10. Get a little thumping action there as he kills the shot and it goes even straighter.
Weber not wasting any time up on the approach, and Dick would like nothing better than to get this ball in the pocket.
Trying to fall back. See his hand go over the top, and he dumped it right into the floor. He just forced that shot all the way, trying to steer it to the pocket.
Threw that ball bad.
Watch the hand go over the top. Follow through goes to the right, indicating the ball was going left.
Which is what it did, and he was fortunate that it held pocket, and he left just the 4-pin. A wide smile from the Splendid Splinter.
Well, he's trying to do something to get himself loose. I mean, you come out, you got a bowl match, you only get 5 shots, he's only got 3 left.
Of course, he's wondering if he doesn't win tonight, will he have another chance?
That's always going through his mind.
Come on, Jace.
Hromek cranks shot.
Nice to go. Way to go, Justin. Way to go, baby.
The rack.
Way to work out there. Way to work out there.
Famous son, Pete, looks on. You can see Pete right now. He'd love to be out there bowling with Dad.
Boy, look at those competitive eyes. He's just watching these competing.
Got the new haircut for the telecast tonight?
It's different.
I think you should maybe go for the mohawk.
Go for the mohawk.
Huh?
Yeah.
Next week, maybe. I'll talk to Debbie. Benoit right back in the pocket, and once again the 10-pin a little stubborn.
Well, they got a turkey, but it's 3 10-pins instead of 3 strikes.
Not much talking going on in the boulder circle.
Serious business right now, Dan. You know, no joking and no kibitzing, and really not a lot of encouraging going on right now.
How tough is it rhythm-wise, Mike, to bowl just every other frame?
I don't think that presents a problem. Really, you know, especially if you're like I was, and I always said I was the best one-alley bowler on tour, you know, so you don't have to worry about that other lane.
Steady head of Nelson Burton Jr. Back into the pocket. Can't coax the 10 down. Well, this one, let me ask you a question. Are these guys squeezing it a little bit now?
I don't think so. I think those are all quality shots.
They look like it.
That ball's coming off Bo's hand much better this game than it did the last game.
You can see he's puzzled. He thought that was a strike on the left-hand lane. Back to work. Make sure you take out the 10.
He will.
End over end she rolls. Nelly looks upstairs, and he's hoping for a break.
Weber is trying to make a quality shot.
And that gentleman right there is responsible for the PBA Touring Pro Seniors Championship here in O'Fallon. Weber got it off his hand, down on one knee, and that's a key.
Come on, right here, right here.
Oh, look at Weber.
Get in there. Well, he came alive with that one, didn't he? He knew that he threw it well as soon as he let it go. Down on the knee, flush in the 1-3 pocket, all 10 in the pit. And now he wants his partner, as he slides it out, to get one more.
Come back here. Yeah, all right out there. Way to work out there, folks. Way to work out there. Way to go.
Of course, he said that many times to Ray Bluth. He and Bluth won the Bowling Proprietors Association of America doubles 4 times back in the 50s and early 60s.
He's an encouragement to be around. He's an enjoyable person.
Benoit and Burton down by 23. Bob needs to make something happen. He's hit the pocket the last 2 trips and make it 3 straight 10-pin.
All right, for
Benoit, 5 straight for the team.
All right. They're in a rut.
You know, you get in that situation where you just can't do anything but leave a 10-pin, and you try and make some kind of an adjustment, usually to tighten up the line, and usually the 10 winds up having company.
Patience.
Well, it's more difficult to have patience when you hit the 7th frame down by 24 pins.
Nelson Burton Jr. in the 7th, down by 24, and would like nothing better to get something started. A little more speed. And this time, Nelly gets him to roll and fall down.
Weber wastes no time. He doesn't even want to think about this shot. He just wants to let his instincts take over.
Good speed. Oh, and Weber tried to dice up the rack. And Juanita looks on, and she's just trying to hang on at this point in time.
Still a match.
Ooh, he liked that shot. Look at him. He's fired up.
Well, he knew, though. He was watching the 7-pin all the way. He knew it was a little weak. You really see the difference between the yesteryear player and the contemporary player and the amount of revs that these young kids get.
Little stick. 7-pin gets the
Come on. Gotta have you, Jace. Right, Justin, right here, baby. Gotta have you.
Come on. That's what Dick Weber is doing. Of course, next week, we'll be heading to Green Bay, Wisconsin for the Green Bay Classic, live from Red Carpet Lanes, beginning at 7:30 Eastern Time on Thursday night. Tony Westlake won last year in Green Bay.
Justin looking for that right field.
Harry. Yeah.
Oh, is that ball?
All right, baby, all right.
Wow.
Nothing but strikes for Justin Hromek, and he, of course, has set up the hammer in the 8th. Weber will bowl in the 9th.
But right now, there are key shots in a match, and this is a key shot right now for Bob Benoit and Nelson Burton Jr.
One of the better clutch players on the tour. One would suspect that Benoit would rise to the occasion.
He did. He did.
Good job, buddy.
Each shot becomes more important then. I mean, that was a key shot, but for them to win, Burton's got to set it up for the 10th frame. And we see again the 16.3 speed. The ball out to the 8th board at 45 feet. Very similar to what he had before.
Strike here would cut the lead to 3.
High.
Real high.
See the thumb go down, the follow-through go right. both playing that tight line. Under pressure, the tendency is to let it go left. Watch him. Now, he's aiming a very tight line here. See the follow-through go right? The ball goes left, right to the heart of the pins, and full penalty. The 4-7-10, the same thing. Jimmy Certain left in the same frame.
Benoit and Burton now in double jeopardy. Nelly gives it a run. Oh, nearly took out the 10. That would have been a dandy.
The Weber and Hromek are in a commanding position right now.
Double here, and it's good night.
It's fair, and they're awful good shape.
He got a handful.
Hey, all right,
look at Weber.
Right here. Right here, right here. Right here. Right here, Joyce.
Just a quick peek at the incredible record of Dick Weber. And very close to notching yet another.
What do you say?
Winner in 5.
Yeah, all right out there, partner. Way to go out there. Beautiful. One more out there.
Said earlier this week, Justin came back after missing a 10-pin in the 10th frame. He had shot 246. Dick had shot 245. And Dick said he came up to me and said, Mr. Weber, I'm so sorry I missed that 10-pin. Dick said, first of all, you don't have to call me Mr. Weber. And second of all, you beat me. You shot 246.
All right, folks. Just gorgeous out there. Just gorgeous out there, baby.
You know, if I remember right, last year, Rick Steelsmith, who is Justin Hromek's good friend, was perfect on the left lane with 7 strikes, and Justin Hromek with 1 more strike is going to be perfect with 7 strikes on the left lane. It was a team effort. Weber got 2 key strikes, both for doubles. 5 decades.
He's thrown a lot of key strikes through the years, and it pays off tonight. Hromek finishes things off with a solid 9, but it doesn't make any difference. Dick Weber, a winner here near his hometown of St. Louis.
What'll it be, fellas?
Make it a Bud Light.
Sorry. This is the last one.
Well, I think I'll take that one.
What do you want to give for it? I'm a 2 and a 10. Give me 10. A 20 big. Give me 20 now. 30. Give me 30 now. 40 big. Give me 40 now. 50. Give me 50 now. 60 big. Give me 60 now. 70. Give me 70 now. 80.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Bud Light, please.
Sorry, boys. This is the last one.
We've just discovered an artifact used by Columnus himself on board the Nina.
That's a mug from Long John Silver's. Just 99 cents with any meal. I have a complete set.
We've just discovered a complete set of artifacts.
Go fish, Long John Silver's.
United Airlines. In 12 cities, in 11 Latin American countries, they're playing our song. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
People don't stay at La Quinta Inns just because they happen to see one everywhere they go. Although, it is a convenient excuse. Call 1-800-531-5900. La Quinta Inns, America's hotel value. This is La Quinta Inn's new money-saving super value rates coupon. If you can't find one, just tell them you saw it on TV. Call La Quinta and ask for the new super value rates from $34.50.
This bench gets a professional finish with Krylon spray paint. No runs, no drips, no errors. Dries to the touch in minutes. The other brand's still tacky. Wow, what a game.
Good game, Mr. User.
Hey, she's a lot tougher than she looks. For a fast, smooth, professional finish, get Krylon.
The championship round finals of the Touring Pro Senior Doubles Championship is being brought to you by America's place to go for fish. Go fish at Long John Silver's. And by United. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies. Big game for the team of Hromek and Dick Weber as they capture the doubles. And Bill Magella, the tournament director, you have a check and a trophy.
Dick and Justin,
On behalf of St. Clair Bowl, it's my privilege to congratulate Justin, you on your first PBA title. And Dick, I'd like to be the first to congratulate you on being the first man to win 5 titles in 5 different decades.
Thanks.
Congratulations. I'm glad you did it here.
All right, Dan Neuner, the general manager, why don't you give another check out here?
Congratulations. Wonderful shooting. Dick, congratulations, Dick.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Super bowler.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk to our newest champions. Of course, Dick Weber and Justin Hromek. So don't go away. We'll be right back on ESPN.
Recently, the International Motorsports Association held a decathlon of performance and control. Over 22 days, 7 cars competed in 10 events to determine which was best overall. It wasn't Acura, or Volvo, nor Mercedes, or Mazda, nor Lexus, or BMW, but the Audi 100 V6, the IMSA Decathlon Gold Medal winner.
Test drive it at Auto House, 4150 Chambers Hill Road, Harrisburg.
Looking good.
I'm doing my best to fight back the years.
Can't argue with that.
Unlike lots of things that improve with time. Fine wine, good cheese, cable TV.
Cable TV?
Sure. 10 years ago, cable TV was just a few channels. Now it's many more channels, including news, sports, movies, and family programs. It's the best entertainment value there is.
Well, maybe second best.
Warner Cable. Great performances every day.
Don't be bored. ESPN Home Video presents Practical Jokes on the Pros, a home video featuring baseball, basketball, and football stars that you'll watch over and over and over and over and over and over again. Oh, yeah? The hilarious Practical Jokes on the Pros.
Something old and something new. Richard, you win in 5 decades, and you bowled just beautifully tonight.
Well, it was a pleasure and an honor to bowl with this young man, Dennis. And the main thing about this, not only me winning in 5 decades, but also he's made his first telecast tournament champions Firestone. So it's a great thrill and a great honor to bowl with a young man like that.
Mike, a question for Justin.
Justin, you're 25. You just bowled with a legend, won your first time. Is this Fantasy Island here?
Well, it seems like a dream right now. I'm just glad it's over with now. I was nervous. I'm glad it's over with now.
Well, if you were nervous, you didn't show. You looked great on that left lane.
Well, I had a lot of experience riding with me, so it was fun.
You did nothing but strike. Dick, you only threw 2 strikes, so...
Oh, thanks, Dennis. Good. 6 out of 7 for Justin, so, 2 of mine contributed some, but the horse came through.
You told a very cute story about when he shot 246 and you had 245, and he had missed a 10-pin, and he came back and referred to you as Mr. Weber.
He said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Weber, I missed a 10-pin. He beat me by 1 pin, 246, 245. And that put us up there pretty good, so... have a young man like that, you can't go wrong.
Juanita, come on over here. The first lady of bowling here in St. Louis, Juanita Weber, and you've been watching him win for a long, long time. This has to be a big moment for you.
It is, but it gets harder all the time, and I'm really proud of Justin. We all thank him.
Yeah, from the bottom of your heart, right, Richard?
Yeah, that's right, exactly. I thank Justin very much, and I'll be watching him in the Firestone when he finishes second to my son, Pete. Sorry about that, Justin.
All right, so long, everybody, from O'Fallon. Next week, the PBA Summer Tour heads up to Red Carpet Lanes in Green Bay, Wisconsin for the championship round finals of the Green Bay Classic, beginning at 7:30 Eastern Time, Thursday, August 13th, live on ESPN.